Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Continuing the description given by Lord Kapila to his mother Devahuti related to the subject matter of the child in the womb of the mother. So now we have come up to the 7th month. In the previous verses, we heard the description of how during the first month, second month, third month of conception, how various transformation takes place. So here we are seeing Arabhya Saptamat Masat. When the 7th month begins, what happens? Labda bodho pivepitaha. Labda bodha. A very important thing happens. That is, he is endowed with consciousness. He is endowed with consciousness. There is development of consciousness. And Vepitaha. Vepitaha meaning tossed upside down. Naikatraste sutivater na ekatra aste. The child in the womb of the mother, he cannot remain in one place due to sutivate, the winds for childbirth. So there are the different kinds of airs within the body: prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, which regulates different parts of the body, which activates different parts, different activities to take place. Different airs are responsible. So there is this air, one thing known as apana vayu, which goes downwards. So similarly here it is mentioned sutivat air, the air which is responsible for childbirth. The child to be pushed out of the body of the mother. Na ekatra aste sutivater. Because of that wind, the child after the 7th month cannot remain in one place. He is continuously being tossed over. Vishtabhur iva sodaraha. Vishtabhu means the worms. The earlier part of this chapter also we sufficiently heard about how there are many worms in the intestine, in the womb of the mother. Sometimes it comes and gives pain to the child. Its tender body, it causes pain by the whatever worms biting and all such things. And so these worms, Vishtabhu, iva sodaraha. So who are these Vishtabu? Who are these worms? They are like our brothers, the child's brother. So here, speaking etymologically, taking the word grammatical meaning, sodaraha, the word comes in this way. Sa udaraha. Udara means belly or stomach. Sa udaraha, born of the same womb. Usually this terminology we are familiar with. Sodara or Sodari, we say brothers, sisters, children being born from the same mother. They are known like this. Sodara, Sa udara, born from the same womb. So we should be very clear. It is not only the so-called brothers and sisters are born from the womb of the mother. There are many worms also which have taken birth from the same womb. So in that sense, they are also our sodaras, brothers. So here, we should be very much clear how, if we are not aware of the Supreme Lord, His expansion into all the living entities, and then the purpose of the material world, why it is created like this, then we may not be able to understand these things properly. There is this concept of universal brotherhood in the outside world, also in the material world. People want to live in peace. They want this universal brotherhood. Every person has to consider another man as his brother. As a brother, the treatment what we give for a brother is something different from what we give from maybe some unknown person, maybe some of our enemies, or someone belong to some other place or house or whatever it may be. So, it's a very much appreciated concept of universal brotherhood. But the problem is, without accepting the Supreme Father, the concept of universal brotherhood doesn't stand. Simply saying we are brothers without accepting the Father, no, it won't work. Only if we accept the Supreme Lord as the Father, common Father of all of us, only then this universal brotherhood will be practical. So now through these verses from the Bhagavatam, we are trying to understand how this concept of universal brotherhood cannot be limited just to human beings. There are many people in the outside world who profess this brotherhood, nationhood, all of these. But what Bhagavatam speaks of, what about the worms which are born along with you? They are also your brothers. So until and unless you care for whatever, what to speak of worms, so many animals we send to slaughterhouses, kill them in varieties of ways, and then if we start speaking of this universal brotherhood, it is false. It won't stand. So this is the concept which Srimad Bhagavatam is offering us, that all living entities, leave alone big animals, even the worms which are born along with us in the womb of the mother, they are also our brothers. So we need to care for them. We need to be concerned about all living entities. Now, here it is said how labda bodhopi vepitaha. Vepitaha means being tossed over, tossed downwards by the sutivat air, by the airs within the belly of the mother. So he cannot remain in one place. Na ekatra aste. Continuously moving, wriggling. It is just like how easy that moment, how it is happening. It is just like his own brothers in the same womb. His brothers, the worms. Vishtabhur iva sodaraha. The way the Vishtabhu, the worms, they won't remain in one place. They won't remain constantly or steadily. You would have seen some worms. They'll never be steady, erect, and no, they'll not be like that. They'll be wriggling continuously, shaking continuously, moving hither and thither. So likewise, even the child in the womb of the mother also. Like the worms born of the same filthy abdominal cavity, he cannot remain in one place. He'll be continuously. So now, if we don't understand about our spiritual nature, the spiritual existence, about the spiritual world, about spiritual brotherhood, then just like the worms in the womb of the mother in some filthy place, simply will be vepitaha, continuously moving, full of disturbances, unsteady. This will be the nature of everyone in this material world. So, we need to understand how there is another brotherhood also, which is very favorable, which is very much liking to a living entity, to remain with caring brothers. Of course, in the material world, so-called brothers, a lot of fight, especially for father's property, so many things we see. But there is this spiritual brotherhood also. If our consciousness is centered around the Supreme Lord, devotional service to Him, then there can be real brotherhood amongst living entities, even though they may not be born from the same womb. If two living entities accept the supremacy of the common Father, of course, in reality, the Supreme Lord is the common Father for all of us. But now, here in this material world, we are in forgetfulness. If we can revive this consciousness again, then yes, real universal brotherhood is possible. Now, I'll narrate this one nice pastime from the Chaitanya Charitamrita about three wonderful brothers, great devotees of the Lord. How they helped each other in their spiritual practices and very exalted. They were so dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They had dedicated their entire life for the service of Lord Chaitanya. And so this is about the story of these three brothers. So anyone can guess who are those three brothers? Yes. Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami and Anupama. All three brothers are great devotees. So they were in Ramakeli though they were born from aristocratic, orthodox, Saraswata Brahmin family, but somehow, because by force they were somehow inducted in the service of the Mohammedan rulers, due to which, since because they are serving Mohammedan ruler, they were ostracized from the whatever Brahminical community. That was the way 500 years ago. So what can be done? Somehow, but these three brothers were very staunch devotees. They continued their spiritual practices even after being put out of the community. They were rich, since because they were serving the government as big ministers. They had sufficient money. They used their money in the service of the Lord. They had a house, huge estate. They had made one replica of Vrindavan there in Ramakeli. Just like now also, if we go to Mayapur, in that Gaudiya Math, we see the one Govardhan Hill. In our temple also we have one Radha Kund, Shama Kund. Likewise, they also had this various pastime places connected to Lord Krishna, what we find in Vrindavan. So they had created all of those things. And in fact, Sanatana Goswami, he was desirous of reading Bhagavatam, but he did not have one copy. Just because he desired, it seems how the story goes like this: one fine day, suddenly from nowhere, one young boy appeared, gave him the Bhagavatam book, and he disappeared. And from that day onwards, Sanatana Goswami describes how this Bhagavatam is my best friend. This is my master. This is my constant companion. So that was how Sanatana Goswami considered the Bhagavatam. Every day we hear how Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. He was very much attached to the reading of Bhagavatam. Krishna was his worshipable deity. But their Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, their younger brother Anupama, he was more inclined to the worship of Lord Ramachandra. He was very much inclined to the worship of Lord Ramachandra. And the two brothers, elder brothers, they tried to convince their younger brother, Are Baba, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He is the origin. He is the fountainhead of all incarnations. So Krishna is he is Shadaishwarya Purna, he is like this, he is like that. They started in their own way, try to impress upon and to bring their brother also. No, you also worship Krishna. It is said how, because of their brothers little persuading or whatever, the younger brother Anupama, he agreed for their proposal. Okay, you give me the Krishna mantra and I'll also chant Krishna's holy name, since because you are telling. He was very obedient younger brother. And so he told, yes, I'll also chant, worship Krishna from now onwards. But it is said how that day, whole night, he couldn't sleep. He was thinking how already my head is sold to the lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra. How can I even think of giving it to someone else? And this caused very much pain to Anupama. The next day, he came and submitted his whatever his feelings in front of his elder brothers, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. At that point of time, both these elder brothers, they appreciated him. Yes, very nice, very good. So much dedication, so much love you have towards the lotus feet of Ramachandra, you continue worshipping Lord Ramachandra. So that portion, very beautiful. I'll read from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. In fact, just a few days before we were discussing Sanatana Goswami meeting Lord Chaitanya in Jagannath Puri. So just before Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami had come to Jagannath Puri, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dispatched him to Vrindavan. So first he went to Bengal, and from there he settled up things, and later of course he went to Vrindavan. Just after that, 10 days after that, Sanatana Goswami arrived. And when he arrived, already he was in such a distressful condition, with a diseased condition, and escaping from the prison house and all of those things. Here, after arriving in Jagannath Puri, after meeting Haridas Thakur and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he got the news that his younger brother Anupama had passed away. So this was still very much cause for distress for Sanatana Goswami, and this is how the conversation goes on. So in this conversation, Sanatana Goswami describes about his intimate dealings with his brothers. Prabhu kahe ihan rupa chila dashamasa, ihan haite gauda gela haila dinadasha. So Rupa Goswami was here, just 10 days over, he left to Bengal, and after that he'll be going to Vrindavan. Tomara bhai anupamera haila ganga prapti, bhala chila raghunathe dridhatara bhakti. Your brother Anupama is now dead. He was a very good devotee who had firm conviction in Raghunatha, Lord Ramachandra. So in reply to this, Sanatana Goswami says, Sanatana kahe neecha vamshe mora janma, adharma anyaya yata amara kula dharma. I was born in a low family, for my family commits all kinds of irreligious acts that violate the scriptural injunctions. So this was how humble Sanatana Goswami was, considering him and his family as something very low, but actually they were very exalted. Hena vamsha ghrina chadi kaila angikara, tomara kripaya vamshe mangala amara. My Lord, without hatred for my family, you have accepted me as your servant. Only by your mercy is there good fortune in my family. Because earlier to this, in Ramakeli, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, during his second attempt to go to Vrindavana, he had gone to Ramakeli, met the three brothers. At the dead of night, these three brothers had come and met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu had initiated all of them. Se Anupama Bhai Shishu Kala Haite Raghunatha Upama Kare Drida Chitte. From the very beginning of his childhood, my younger brother Anupama was a great devotee of Raghunatha, and he worshipped him with great determination. Ratri dine Raghunatera Nama Aradhyana, Ramayana Niravadhi Shune Kare Gana. So day and night, always he used to chant Lord Ramachandra's name. He used to meditate on Lord Rama. Every day he used to read the pastimes, activities of Lord Ramachandra from the Ramayana. So in this way, he was completely absorbed in the thoughts of Lord Ramachandra. Ami ara rupatara jeshta sahodara, ama donha sange tenha rahe nirantara. Rupa and I are his elder brothers. He stayed with us continuously. Ama sabha sange Krishna katha Bhagavata shune. Tahara pariksha kailun ami dui jane. We heard Srimad Bhagavatam and talks about Lord Krishna. He heard Srimad Bhagavatam and talks about Lord Krishna with us. And both of us examined him. So, Tahara pariksha kailun ami dui jane. These two elder brothers, Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, they wanted to test his younger brother Anupama. So they started speaking to him. Shunaha Vallabha Krishna Parama Madhura Saundarya Madhurya Prema Vilasa Prachura. Shunaha Vallabha, his actual original name was Vallabha, and then after he was initiated, he was known as Anupama. So he says how, dear Vallabha, we said, please hear from us. Lord Krishna is supremely attractive. His beauty, sweetness and pastimes of love are without limit. Krishna bhajana kara tumi ama dunhara sange. Tina bhai ekatra rahimo Krishna katha range. So Krishna bhajana kara tumi amara dunhara sange. See, myself and Rupa Goswami, we are worshipping Krishna. So you also join us. All three of us together, Krishna katha range. We shall nicely worship Lord Krishna. Emata bara bara kahi dui jana. Ama duhara gaurave kichu firi gela mana. In this way we spoke to him again and again. And because of this persuasion and his respect for us, his mind turned somewhat towards our instructions. Because of his respect to his elder brothers, so he agreed for this proposal. Toma dunhara agnya ami kemane laghimu. Diksha mantra deha Krishna bhajana karimu. How can I transgress your orders? Yes, my dear brothers, kindly instruct me. I shall start worshipping Krishna. Etakahi ratrikale karena chintana. Kemane chadimu Raghunatera charana. After saying this, at night he began to think, how shall I give up the lotus feet of Lord Raghunatha? Sabaratri krandana kari kaila jagarana. Pratah kale ama dunhaya kaila nivedana. He stayed up all night and cried. In the morning he came to us and submitted the following plea. Raghunatera pada padme vichiyachon matha. Kadite naparon matha. Pana bada vyatha. I have sold my head at the lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra. I cannot take it away. That would be too painful for me. Kripa kari moryagnya deha dui jana. Janme janme sevon Raghunatera charana. The two of you, please be merciful to me and order me in such a way that life after life I may serve the lotus feet of Lord Raghunatha. Raghunathera pada padma chadaya nayaya. Chadibara mane haile prana patiyaya. It is impossible for me to give up the lotus feet of Lord Raghunatha. When I even think of giving them up, my heart breaks. Tabe ami dunhe tare alingana kailun. Sadhu drida bhakti tomara kahi prashamsilun. Upon hearing this, we each embraced him and encouraged him by saying, you are a great saintly devotee, for your determination in devotional service is fixed. In this way, we praised him. Then it continues. So here, just one nice pastime, how the brothers together, we may say how in fact like transcendental variety is there. Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, of course both are one and the same, but still there are varieties, devotees' inclinations, some sometimes so-called difference in interests may come up. With all of these things, together, if we can serve the Supreme Lord, how nice it would be. Because this is how it is. There are varieties in the spiritual world also, and varieties in the material world also. And connected to these varieties, especially in the material world, there is lot of factions which takes place. Disunity. One of the symptoms of Kali Yuga is that people cannot stay united. Very difficult. Each and every person, they have their own philosophy, they have their own interests, their own way of doing things, and it may not match with others. So there will be disunity. But somehow or the other, if we can keep the Supreme Lord in the center, if we can keep the spiritual master in the center, then it is possible. With all these differences also, we can stay together, serving the Supreme Lord. Srila Prabhupada says in one place that I have built a house where the whole world can stay. I have built a house wherein the whole world can stay. So the whole world. How to understand this? People from different backgrounds, with different interests, different inclinations, varieties are there. But still, somehow or the other, if we become attached to our spiritual master's instructions, if we keep the goal of our life to satisfy him, all of our activities directed towards serving him, then it is possible, with whatever differences it may be, what do we speak of, universal brotherhood, it is possible. So this is possible only on the spiritual platform and not in the material platform. So we can recollect how Srila Prabhupada speaks about the United Nations building. Only flags are increasing. They speak about United Nations, but everything is divided there. So in material platform, this unity cannot be brought. It can be brought only on spiritual platform. Just like if we take the example of a prison house. So many prisoners are there inside, and these prisoners, they may help each other because everyone are staying together there. The jailer comes, the superintendent, and he performs his duty of maybe punishing one person, rigorous punishment, whatever things, he may start his job. And looking at one of their co-prisoners being punished severely, the other prisoners, they may start crying, oh my friend or brother or whatever. Or what maximum they may do, somehow they'll form some unity and whatever, mutiny against the jail superintendent, something they may try out. But none of them will be, their attempts won't be successful. Only if they understand, accept the position of the jail superintendent, accept the position of the government, be in reality that this prison house is a temporary place for me, for reformation. There is outside free world, and actually I am supposed to live there. And if I can, following the instructions of the jail superintendent, finish my term within the jail, the way what is expected out of me, then yes, I am also eligible to come to the outside world, free world, and remain a free citizen to enjoy all the facilities there. So if this understanding is not there, if we are limited within I and mind, these concepts, just like the prisoners thinking, oh, we are all staying in one room here, we are all brothers, and somehow this person is coming and punishing us, so let us all put together, we'll do something to the jailer. It cannot happen. He has the entire government behind him, the power, supreme power. These things won't work. So the only solution is accepting the Supreme Lord. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Pitaham asya jagato mata data pitamaha. He is the father, he is the mother, he is the grandfather. So in this way, if we can accept him and his representative, the spiritual master, as our father, and we are all brothers, intending to serve him, to please him, follow his instructions, only then universal brotherhood will be a reality. We end with this. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.